Hey, book lovers. Welcome to Plot on the Rocks, the podcast where representation is crucial and it's always for the plot.
We're your hosts, Alicia, Rakia, and Tia, three friends dedicated to honoring the brilliance and the power of Black and POC authors.
We got some hot takes, some spoilers, don't worry, we'll always warn you, and deep convos on culture, identity, and everything in between.
Each week we dive deep into a new book, share our unfiltered thoughts, and celebrate the writers who are reshaping the literary world, one story at a time.
And fair warning, if you're here for a calm, quiet book club, this might not be what you're looking for.
Grab your favorite drink, curl up with us, and let's talk books. The ones that move us, excite us, and keep us flipping pages way past our bedtime.
So lower your expectations and let's get into the plot.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to today's episode. Like we're on The View or something. Like, what episode is this episode?
It's still today. It's relative to before.
This is true. We have to laugh. We have to giggle because we're talking about a very heavy book today. We're going to be discussing the Reformatory by Tananarive Due, which I think this is mine and Rakia's first time reading her, right? And then Tia's been like the connoisseur of her.
I love her.
So, yes. So just to give a little biography on Miss Tananarive Due, she is the daughter of civil rights activists and a civil rights attorney. She was born and raised in Florida, and this book, The Reformatory, is based off of a real school, a real reform school in Florida called the Dozier School. It follows the story of 12-year-old Robbie Stevens, who is sent to the school after protecting his sister from a white boy who tries to make a pass at her. And this is obviously Jim Crow, Florida, which you can't do, obviously. He kicks him. This white boy happens to be the son of the most prominent landowner in Florida, or in the area in Florida. The father sees what Robbie has done, and the next day he's arrested and shipped off to this school. So before we even get into like the heaviness of everything, what do we rate this book? Clinks, stars, whatever it is.
I will go ahead and give this 5 clinks. Perfect story.
Yeah.
Heavy as hell. Hard to read at some points, but perfect story. Which I'm not surprised. I love her. So good.
Same. I would do. Oh, I got a good one. I never get a good. Look at this.
That was good.
Yes.
Oh my god. I would do
that. Right.
I know. I love that cover confused.
Yes.
I'm gonna do 5 out of 5 because again, perfect story, perfect writing, perfect everything. Even though it's like it was a fiction, but historical. And that's the thing. Like, it's historical fiction, but it's also like supernatural. But there were so many things that I learned too, like people that I never heard of, things that I never knew, and I love that she like the way that she like weaved it in so perfectly was just perfect. Is the only word I can think of. Really, honestly, truly. Perfect.
That's my favorite part of her books. All of her books do that.
Well written.
All of her books, like, you learn so much.
I need her whole bibliography.
5 stars as well for me. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
So good.
Perfect.
Yes. And what is everybody drinking?
Dang, like, when's the last time we rated a book all 5 stars at one time?
Last season.
We've only had 2 of those. Well, no. We had one this season. It was the first half of this season.
I Don't Wish You Well.
Yes, I Don't Wish You Well. Yeah.
I Don't Wish You Well.
I feel like it was one more.
Was it one more? Yeah, it was one more. What was it? Hold on, let me go look at our episodes real quick because I know it was one more for sure.
Ooh. Yes, for last season, I think.
Yeah. I thought we had more and more this season, but I don't
Girl,
see
this
it.
season.
Like when I'm looking back at the books, and I'm like, no, I don't.
We just started reading the books this
I think
season.
that we really did. Just
please.
It's been like, oh
We
my
have range.
God.
Range of books.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what? At least I think the one that we actually did, like, what's ironically enough, again, was this Hogarth Roaches in Her Crib.
Yeah, we
Which I
liked
still
that
think
one.
is so surprising.
That was the only other one we
Yes.
liked, just about.
It's like, I think it's so surprising. But what's also side note, what's everybody drinking today? I haven't even tasted mine yet. Hopefully it's good.
I got my regular rosé.
I got a little rosé as well.
I tried to copy the drink that you made us.
Wait, I lied. This is Moscato. I'm just saying shit. This is pink Moscato.
Anybody know the difference?
When you pulled up your rosé, and I'm like, oh, hers look different than mine. What? Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Listen, I don't know the difference, honestly. I know red, white, and pink. I know red, white, and pink, and that is pretty much it.
Close
I
enough.
tried to combine. I tried to do what you did for us, Rikia. I did a peach Moscato and a sangria. Okay. Yeah, so I combined a peach Moscato and a sangria to kind of taste like what you had made, Rikia. And it's pretty good. Does it taste the same? No. But I like it.
It's good. Okay.
Yes.
I need to get more creative with my drinks, y'all. I just been stuck on wine lately so much. I just want to share about it. That's it. But I need to get more creative, you know?
I'd be bored. That's where my stuff be coming from. I'd be like, what can I try today?
What can I mix together? What will taste good?
What I got in here right now?
A lab.
Yes.
Oh my God.
See, my problem is I can drink the same thing over and over again for a year and just be so okay with that. I need to branch out.
Listen, but I feel like every time I branch out, it tastes like booty. Jeremy got this watermelon cider. Absolutely not. Absolutely.
I don't like
not.
watermelon
I'm about to say,
flavors.
Oh, that was a country accent, girl. You said watermelon. You said watermelon.
I felt it when it was coming out, and I was trying to rein it back in, but it was too.
I heard it. I was gonna let you rock, but since Alicia said something, girl.
Oh God, yeah, that was real strong. I don't know where it came.
It's okay, girl. Jeremy does it to me all the time. This morning, I wanted to make myself a little iced coffee. See, and then I said, I can't reach the cup. Can you grab it for me? And then he's like, you want some coffee? And I was like, just give me the cup, please, sir.
Thank you.
Meanwhile,
Sometimes it just slides
it's
out.
like,
You know?
so, but okay. Anyway, let's finish the book. We have to have fun. We have to laugh because if you don't laugh, we'll cry.
Yeah.
So, before we get into it, I wanted to talk a little bit about like the history of where she pulled everything from. So, like I mentioned earlier, it was an actual school in Florida called the Dozier School in Marianna, Florida, where her uncle, I believe, actually attended, which made her want to write this story. And it was one of those things where it's like, maybe nobody really talked about him, but then as she uncovered all this, Robbie Stevens is like the namesake of her uncle. Doesn't have the same fate as the story Robbie Stevens, unfortunately, because I do believe he was one of the children, because it was a children's school, quote unquote school, that was a victim of everything that would go on there. So thousands of boys. When you look online, it says as young as 8, but on the Wikipedia page, it said 3. 3. Which, when I read that, I had to like just take a second, because it's like something as skipping school, being an orphan, you get sent there.
Crazy.
And it's just like, and there was they would be abused, obviously, physical abuse, mental abuse by the people who would run this place, sexual abuse, unfortunately, and the school did not close until 2011. and it opened in 1900.
That is blowing my mind.
2011.
When I saw that, I was just like,
Insane.
For one thing about Florida, that's like, to me, that's like a modern day Wild West.
Mm-hmm.
To me. Like, so is it like shocking that like it closed that late? It's like no, but yes at the same time. But
yeah.
it was just,
You would hope that there's a limit to some of these things. And that we know, obviously, that things are not as progressed as they love to teach us or to say they are. Case in point, the many lynchings that have been happening over the last few months. And it's like, when you look at places like Florida, Mississippi, those are places you still ain't gonna, I mean, really parts of North Carolina, you ain't just driving around at night. You just ain't doing it. You're just not going by yourself. Because unfortunately, there are demonic people in the world who still uphold this stuff. And it's just, it's very disheartening at times.
Still think this way.
So reading this book was very hard. Yeah. It was very hard, especially in light of everything going on. It was like, oh, it was so hard. It took me forever to read it.
I had to do it in sections.
Yeah. I cried a lot.
I had to do it in sections too, Kia.
It was too, like, it was one of those things where it was like, it was too much, and then I wanted to, like, power through it. And I don't know why I wanted to power through it. I think my thing is, like, I needed, when I get in an uncomfortable thing, I just have to do it because I need it to be over with soon, basically. Because if I stop, it's like, okay, well, I have to go back to this. Like, I remember, like, reading at the kitchen table, and I'm, like, sobbing, and Jeremy's like, why don't you just, like, take a break? And I was like, no, like, I need to just, I'm okay.
Gotta get through.
Like, why are you reading this? I was like, I have to read it. Just let me do it. But it was, and the thing about Florida is, like, 'cause, I have family there. I grew up going there. Florida has some good PR. Really good PR. Because I think for the vast majority of people, when they think about Florida, they think about Miami and Disney World and Universal Studios and beaches.
Happy things.
Yeah. And I remember, like, growing up, because I would only go there maybe 4 weeks out of the year, like Christmas and summertime. And I never really considered it part of the... What the heck? My camera disconnected.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. We had some technical difficulties, guys. Sorry. So, what I was saying... What was I saying? Florida. I would go to Florida. I would go to Florida.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And because of the... I didn't know a lot about Florida history growing up, like, especially, like, in history classes. What we would learn about the South, it was always, like, Georgia, North Carolina, like, all those other places. Never really learned about, like, Florida history, obviously, because why would I in New York? But there would be points where I was like, well, is Florida, like, the South? Like, really? Because, like, especially where I would go would be in, like, the Tampa area. And, like, northern Florida is a little bit more country than, like, the inner parts of it. So, and then when I found out, like, do you know the only reason why Florida is a state is because when it was owned by Spain, that's where, like, enslaved people from Georgia, North Carolina, that's where they would escape to because they would get freedom if they came to Florida. And the U.S. government didn't like that. That's the only reason why Florida was a state. It's because of that.
Literally, what?
Like,
there's not one part of this country's history that is not rooted in racism. I swear, it gets exhausting to a point. Like,
and that's why I get irritated when people are like, "Why do you make everything about?" Because it is. Everything literally is.
It is
the basis of it, and it's like, and then like the town where the Reformatory takes place reminded me of the town that I would like go and visit my family, because you guys know I hate going to Florida. No offense to people who are in Florida. I hate going there, but it literally disturbs my spirit. And I know it sounds like very dramatic, but like you feel different. It is a different energy. And there's a lot of people who
Very
are,
true. It's the
it
Twilight
is,
Zone.
and there's a lot of people who are connected like spiritually, where it's like, no, it is a weird energy because water is used in any spirituality, right? It's surrounded by water. You have the Seminole Indians who were there. You had enslaved Africans who were there, and it's like there's this weird energy in Florida that I absolutely hate. And then you look at what happened, like the history of it. Like I remember, like when I was googling it, because on this leads us to the questions. Finally, but I'm gonna go out of order here. But on page 16, like right in the beginning of the book, it says, on Florida soil, sometimes killing broke out for its own reasons. Florida is soaked so much in blood, it's a wonder the droplets don't seep between your toes with every step, Mama used to say. And when I read that line, I was like, oh, that's literally how it feels when you go there. And like when I Googled it, it was the first thing that popped up was Florida has a reputation as being heavily haunted land due to its 4 centuries of overlapping human conflict, colonial bloodshed, yellow fever epidemics, and shifting frontier history. And that made me look up the history of the town where my family is, which Brooksville, Florida. They live like outside of it, but the name Brooksville, it's named after a racist senator from South Carolina who beat an abolitionist senator to death for opposing slavery. That's what the town is named after. And it's like everything I feel about it is valid because that's weird.
Mhm.
That
Oh,
is
yeah.
weird. That's your town's namesake.
And it's
I
like
don't know.
you know it, and then for other people to know it, and then there's not a change. Because when I think of big changes like that, like I'm not a sports fan at all. Like go sports, and then after that, I really don't know what's going on. But I think of like I think of like the big to do they did for the Redskins, and they're now the Commanders. There can be significant changes like that all over the world, and they choose not to because of the people that it either benefits or does not benefit, which is insane. Because you beat somebody to death, and you got a whole city town named after you. That's okay.
But there's like even like, if you drive through it, there's like a Civil War memorial there. I'm 95% sure there's a hanging tree still out front of the courthouse. And then instead of there's a Confederate statue somewhere down there. They put a fence around it so people couldn't come and take it down. And it's like,
Oh God.
and
Like I
and there was an article I was reading of this woman who moved from Atlanta. This article was written in like 2016, I think, and she moved from Atlanta to Brooksville. And she said she had a culture shock because obviously this is a white lady in Atlanta too. But for a white lady to be like, this is weird because there's obviously black people everywhere in Atlanta, and then you come to Brooksville and it's like, oh, okay,
Yes.
this is
Where's the
strange.
color?
And she would
Right.
interview people. Like she wanted to interview someone because it's one of those places where it's like, no, it doesn't exist here. Literally, black and white people have two completely different ideas of it. And she interviewed someone, and the person that she interviewed, again, this is in 2015, was like, respectfully, please don't share my picture. Please don't share my name. Don't even quote me because I'm worried for my safety and yours. Like, and that's why I say Florida has some good. Well, I don't know about now. I think people are trying to realize that Florida's kind of crazy. But for a while, it has some good PR for a good amount of time.
Well, I hope people are realizing, and I hope they're also realizing, especially with current events, that this stuff is not isolated. It's not isolated. People have been getting lynched all over the country, and it's more concentrated down here because it's more open down here. But that don't mean it don't exist outside of here. And I need everybody to wake up to the fact that this whole country, the entire country, is fucked up beyond belief. All these people is demonic, and that's all I gotta say about that. I don't know. It's just it blows my mind because I just, I don't know. I think I was talking to y'all about this a couple weeks ago. I can't remember, but it's like this concept of hatred. Black people just don't have that. We don't have that. We was raised. You don't even say you hate nothing because that's a strong
It's a bad word.
You growing up as a black child, you get in trouble for saying you hate something. You can say you don't like it, but like that's not everybody's reality. There are people out here who were raised to say I hate niggas, and were raised that that's okay. And hatred is a strong emotion. It's a toxic emotion. And it just infects everything around it, and it's disgusting to think about, but it still exists here. And we have to, if we want anything to change, we're gonna have to acknowledge that, and we're gonna have to acknowledge the fact that everybody was not born raised in love. They were not born in a culture of love. They don't understand mercy. They don't understand any kind of they just don't. They don't have that.
And even like I think I was telling you too, like where it's like if I don't like something, I don't want anything to do with it. If I don't like somebody, stay away from me.
Right.
But it's like with racists, it's the complete opposite. It's like you're obsessed. You're obsessed.
Yes.
And it's like I don't understand that because again, if I have an aversion to something or to someone, stay over there.
Or if I think it's
dangerous,
like
yes.
Oh, we're gonna stay away.
Yeah, but no, this is like. And even with the lynching thing, stop saying it. Stop saying it to suicide for the love of God. For the love of God. Please. Because it can't all of them.
Let that fantasy go.
And that's exactly what it is.
Let that fantasy go. And I don't want to be insensitive to anybody's family when I say this, but until I see somebody's mama come out and say on camera or quoted in a newspaper somewhere saying, I saw the video, it was actually self-inflicted. Guess what? I ain't believing a damn thing that the police department got to say. RPD lie every day. I don't care. Till I see proof or somebody's mother, brother, somebody who's close to them come out and say, oh, yeah, I saw it. Yeah, I don't give a damn what y'all got to say.
That leads... So another question I had was, and this we're skipping ahead, but in the final chapter, Gloria says when I forgot the name of the warden, McCormick, a little bastard ass.
I thought it was Howard.
Howard McCormick McCormick was the name of the
superintendent.
No, I think McCormick was the name of the kid that he hit.
Yeah, his name is like Howard or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Haddock. That's what
it
is. Haddock, that's a little sick bastard. He killed his sister.
He's disgusting.
Little baby sister. Crazy. He was crazy. We're skipping all over the place. We're not even saying like what's happening in the story because it's just like it's crazy. We're going tangent. But like in the story, so Robert gets there and he makes two friends. And like we say this every single episode, but if you listen to us, you know by now it's spoilers. So if you don't want to spoil it, read the book, come back. Anyway, he makes two friends, Redbone and Blue. Did you think? I want you guys to think about this, because when the reveal came that Blue was a hate, I had to think back about the foreshadowing, because she did foreshadow. Because I was like, wait, she's really good. She didn't even foreshadow that. I was like, wait, no, she actually did like multiple times, and it's like you're not.
But so clever.
Oh my god! Like, what? I need to know your reaction because I literally gasped. I gasped when it was revealed that Blue was a hate this whole time.
I feel like I had two thoughts, because when he said you were talking about it, I was like, okay, so did he not hear Blue's voice as well? And then when he said, don't say anything about Blue, again, is Blue in the room with us? I'm very good. What is happening here? So I was like, oh, it makes sense now. It makes sense.
Yes. Like the scene where when they line him up before they go to the funhouse.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh no, I didn't do anything. And then he just runs back. And I was like, oh wait, like he didn't tell him
could do that?
He could go. And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Part of me was thinking up until the reveal, I was like, well, dang, is Blue somebody's child? Is Blue does Blue have something on them? Like I was really trying to understand because it seemed like Blue was just so
Yeah.
brazen and unafraid and playing jokes and doing all kind of stuff. And I was like, something up with Blue, but I couldn't figure it out. When they revealed that, boy, I literally was like, he's a what?
But I think to your point, where it's like there's something going on with him, because she makes a point to say that he's not from here. He's not American. He's from the Bahamas. He's from the Caribbean. And even like when Haddock was talking about how much he did not like him because of how he spoke to white people, where he was like, no, this is my right that I can do this. They don't you don't talk like that to white people in America, not at this time. So I just thought he was like that because, again, he's not from here. He didn't get the gist of like how you act versus over where he's from to here. So I just thought it was a cultural difference, which it could be, which I think she dropped that in to kind of trick you too.
Yeah.
But then when they said he was, I was like, oh my God.
That was so
it
was.
It was.
Oh, I love it. It was so
oh my God. Ugh. And it was just, oh, I hated Haddock so bad. Like I hated that man. I hated that man. And ugh. Oh my God. But that
you want to know what I hated the most about him? What I hated the most about him is that he is the type of white person where it's like, I feel like we run into this a lot nowadays, especially. They can appreciate black people. Do y'all remember that part where he was talking about, well, niggas ain't dumb as they say. They be smart. You can't underestimate. Oh yeah, no. There are some racist people who can very much appreciate the skills we have, the abilities we have. They can know that we are probably more human than they are as far as their processing of emotions and things like that. And yet, because they have the power to do what they want to do, they're going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
And to me, that's almost scarier. Like, you're telling me you see me as a full person. You can recognize that I'm not one of a collective. I'm an individual and I might have different skills, and still you're going to oppress me. That's scary. You're psychopathic.
Yeah. I can't even describe him as a person. Like what he like. I cried the hardest, I think. One of the hardest parts I cried was when they finally go to the shed. And they find, sorry, I'm laughing because I don't want to cry. Where they find when he talks about his favorite broom, and then like knowing, oh my God, and then knowing again this is a real place where these kids had to just deal with that. And I knew it was something because Blue, when he kept telling Robbie like he's worse than he will ever know. When Robbie got undressed in front of him, how he was looking at him, I was like, please, I swear to God, please don't do anything to him, to anybody. But then finding out that he does do stuff, that killed me. And that, because what you were talking about too, where it's like you were talking about obviously the country as like a whole, of how, or like you're talking about country as a whole, how we need to process stuff. And then I was saying how like, oh yeah, in Florida, where it's like some people are like, no, we don't have a racist issue, blah, blah, blah. In the final chapter, so we're skipping ahead, when he gets what's coming to him, thank God. Thank God. I love that it was his dog. Exactly. And I love that it was his dog. Who did it.
Yeah. That felt so good. Oh my God.
But Gloria says that everyone would try to say that only the warden left mauled in the creek had created this unholy suffering at that place when the whole town had a hand. What do you think she meant by that?
Yes.
Or how did you feel when she said that?
I highlighted that part specifically because I feel like that's every day in America for us to this day. Every day. I literally got in an argument, quote unquote, with somebody on Threads literally just an hour ago because somebody was saying something about racism, and this girl jumps in there. Well, as one of those whites who isn't one of those
Shut up.
whites, I'm always so appalled when I hear them saying things like this. And I'm like, oh, are you? If you're not saying nothing, you're still one of them. Sorry to break it to you. Sorry to break it to you. And then, of course, she got defensive, which proved my point.
that's going to lead to my other question, too, in a second. And I think, because that's the thing where it's like, it's easier to blame an individual for something, because that's the thing too where it's like, I think a lot of people, when they think of racism, again, it's the KKK, it's a Nazi, it's a skinhead, it's not a collective as a whole. And it would be easier for the town to be like, oh, he was a bad apple, because for the most part it was definitely one of those separate but equal situations where it's like, again, black and white people are living completely different lives, but for a white person at that time, it's like, oh yeah, they were fine. It's fine. This doesn't exist. It's okay. But it's harder to have to acknowledge that it's something as a whole, and the whole entire system needs to be just reassessed.
Burnt down.
I agree.
That's what I was going to say.
Bernie.
Look. And I think when I sat with that quote for a while, simply because I feel like they are okay with the whip and not okay with the lashes. Y'all are okay that it was a white man essentially holding the whip, lashing out at everybody else. Yet everybody didn't directly hurt one of them. All of y'all knew what was going on and chose to do nothing to help. And it's like, oh, this white man, he's sullied the town. What about like all of their spirits and their souls that are now have been set free in that water, now in a I can't even say happier place, but like they're not confined to that evil space or confined to a jar. Like everybody was okay with it when y'all had bricklayers and y'all had a marching band for the parade and all of these other things. Like, what?
And they were also, there was it tobacco or something like that? No, turpentine, I think. They were providing that for the town.
All types of stuff.
So they were providing labor.
Free labor.
Yeah. At that.
Some things never change.
But now that it's
14th Amendment, I promise you, reading what this book, and one of the things that was so hard is that you just really see how much nothing has changed.
Yeah.
Nothing has changed. They still locking up babies. I mean, babies are getting pregnant in the detention facilities. They're not all black. They're brown. They're black, they're brown, they're locking up children. There are babies in there. I just saw an article about a 1-year-old being taken to court with no representation. Did you see that?
Yes. And the judge said he needed to provide
nothing
his
has
own
changed.
asylum. A baby, a 1-year-old. And it's like...
A baby. They're still locking up children. They're still getting free labor from black people locked up in the system over doing something as simple as holding an ounce of weed. Even though weed is legalized in so many states now, guess what? They're still locked up. People locked up who haven't even had a trial yet.
Due process just
there's nothing different about
went
this
out
country.
the window.
Nothing at all.
And that...
Ricky, you got time.
And that leads me, because like with the other one too that I found really interesting, because we have white characters in the book. You have Miss Anne, you have Mr. Loman. And this was one of those times where it was like I was reading it and I was like, you know what? Especially with those two, it's like at this point, the white people, they can only do what they could do to help. I think they both helped Robbie and his family in a way, as small as it was. But what got me was on chapter 25, page 330, Mrs. Loman, Mr. Loman's wife. They're Jewish. They're from New York. They moved down to Florida, which I don't know why you would do that at this time, but that's your decision. Their kids are getting made fun of at school because they're Jewish. They look different. And she attends a luncheon between Jews and Christians, and she was so excited at the end of it. And she was saying how this luncheon would help her kids fit in. And The only the only thing I wrote down was like the need to be accepted and aligned with whiteness when you are the other. Yes, you're Jewish, yes, you're white, but you're still the other. Miss Anne, a white woman whose daddy was killed by the KKK, it's alluded because he had
He's
some
helping.
sympathies for black people. She's a lesbian, so she has to move different. But that the comment from Mrs. Loman that got me because it's just like you want that acceptance like so bad that you're like your kids are getting like bullied. They don't like it here. They don't like it here. But you want to be aligned with that so bad. And like you see that because I remember like reading an article where it's like it takes 2 generations for like for specifically European like descendants. It takes 2 generations for them to have no connection because they have assimilated into whiteness, which is nothingness, no cultural connection. And I just asked that question, like, why do you want to do that? Just go home. Go back to New York. Just go back to New York, please. Like, why would you subject your kids to that? I don't know.
I feel like it's a psychological pull. Because I wrote down the same thing. I feel like it is a psychological pull that people have to be aligned, have that overall proximity, and to feel wanted. But my thing is, you want to feel wanted by people who do not even like you. They don't like you.
You telling me you couldn't find other Jewish people? You couldn't find a community? Like,
And this is what I wish that more white people understood nowadays. And not just white people, because honestly, again, nothing new under the sun. We see the discourse of even Hispanic or even, unfortunately, some black people from other countries who come over here and participate in the system of whiteness as well and try to assimilate. And it's the same thing. Like you're seeking acceptance, you're seeking safety, when in reality, these people are never going to see you as one of them. They will use you to their purposes and command you to get in where you fit in, which is what they do. It started with the Europeans coming over here and saying, oh, no, we just want to be American. We just want to be white. Starts with that. And now we have Hispanic people coming over here, joining ICE by the droves, locking up their own people
for a check
just to fit into white supremacy. There's nothing new under the sun.
And it was like, I saw one thing, I forgot who it was. Vivek, one of the Indian American people that's in the government now. I forgot what holiday it was. I don't know if it was like Diwali or something like that. And again, he's Republican. He aligned himself with that. And he had tweeted like, oh, happy Diwali, whatever, whatever. He got chewed out by these people. Like, it was just like, we don't do that here. And I'm just like, I was like, see? You can't be shocked when the leopard eats your face. Like,
yep. Yeah.
And it's like, and I even like, and I get like on the one point, I think it's like, yeah, this David Loman, that's what it was. You see, like he's even going against who he is as a person because he wants to help him, but again, he's in this completely different area with a completely different hierarchy that's different from up north, and it's like, I feel like he's even doing stuff that's not natural to him because I feel like he wanted to do more, but then he had to think about the safety of his wife, the safety of his kids, the safety of himself. I couldn't do that. I'm sorry, babe. I know you want to be close to your family, but we gotta go.
We gotta go home. Yeah.
Because granted, did his call start the catalyst of giving Gloria the map to tell? Yes. Yeah. So he did what he can do. But I was like, damn, whiteness is a hell of a drug. Want to be
no, for real,
a part of something. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. It's all it benefits no one is what I feel like one of the lessons is. It doesn't benefit anybody. You got white women in their houses scared of their husbands, running around ducking and hiding to get their own money to help somebody that they consider, I don't know if y'all caught the part that they was related back.
Yes, Anne and Miss Lottie. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, wow, this is your actual literal family. You can't even help because they darker than you. You want to help, but you trapped. You feel trapped. But the only way you can help right now is with your money.
Mm-hmm.
And lesson, if you feel trapped, give your money. Just gonna say that.
But no, she wasn't. Miss Ann wasn't married.
So you feel like you can do
more. The
more.
man in Miss Ann's house wasn't her husband. That was her brother. Miss Ann was a lesbian. She had a whole lesbian.
She was just using that as an example.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Okay.
I know the. Yeah, I'm just.
Oh, you're just saying. Okay,
okay. I'm just saying in general.
But even with that, like, and
yeah, I'm saying in general.
Because even with that, like, that was.
Yeah.
I found reading it. I found myself giving her more. I don't know if I gave her more of a pass. But even like, and you even see the difference too. Like, they were her and her partner. I think what was her partner's name? Channing.
Yeah,
I think they were more comfortable being themselves at this fishing hole with the black woman that was over there. But the black woman was right there. They were like fine. Mm-hmm. And you even see like that difference. And like, I remember Gloria looking at the guy, and he was just like, yeah, it's like whatever it is. They're just doing whatever. And it's like, and it's with her, like, and I felt bad for her. I felt bad for her too, because it's like, damn, like you have to like hide your relationship. You have to escape in one way or another too. Because she had like a lodge somewhere, I think. And then Ricky, you added that question about Miss Lottie too, because it's also alluded that she was also a lesbian. Mm-hmm. Where she said on page 105, Miss Lottie herself had never married, but as a younger woman, photographed herself often with the woman she had always called. It's always a friend. They were roommates.
Hello, friends.
Best friends. They're best friends. Sadie.
Little friend.
Mm-hmm. And you said, oh, no, not Siri. I don't want to talk to you, Siri. No. She's been coming on a lot lately. I don't like that.
I turned it
Did
off.
you see the iPhones coming out with AirPods with a camera? Did you see that? Anyway.
Why
do you need that?
I don't know.
They want cameras on everything.
I don't like it. Anyway, you said, why did the author see this is an important thing to add, especially during those times? And I thought it was like an added layer of intersectionality. Mm-hmm. And also feels like an added layer of of normalcy. Especially, I feel like we've read a lot of historical novels where it's like, there's a lot of black characters that we've read from back in the day that were gay or bi. And how it was just like, not really questioned too much, which I think is very interesting compared to now, where it's very much just like, I like that they added that. I felt bad for her, but she still had her family. She had her chosen family that she wanted, with the two boys, the two men, and then Robbie and Gloria. But I love that they included that. Miss Ann's a lesbian too. They're related. It's genetic. So it's like, look at
that.
You do run this.
I like that they added that as well.
Yes.
Oh, go ahead to you.
Yeah. Oh no,
I like that they added that. I do. Like you said, that extra layer. I know you said that you kind of feel bad for Anne. I have a coin flip for her. Mm-hmm. I like that when Gloria called her out and she was like, yes, you say all these good things about my family, about my dad, about my brother to me, but you don't say it to anybody else. And then when the sheriff came, she was like, y'all know daggone well that her little, whatever her side piece be beating her black and blue, and then now it's a big to-do. So I did like that, but I don't necessarily say that I would feel bad for her in the context of everybody else, because you're a white woman with that money that your father has left you. You have a home. You do not have to work. You have hired help. You have your person, and you have somewhere to hide away to. Girl, she all right.
That's true.
Yes.
She was privileged. Yes, she was.
And that's, even in her perceived, restrictions. And that's why, it was just so hard to read this book, because I really just saw today.
Yeah.
I really just saw today. I really just felt today. I mean, you can get on the internet right now and find a white woman that will argue you down that she's oppressed as well. She can't be gay in peace, girl.
It's a lot other things going on in the world.
Girl, you can be gay a little more peaceful than maybe I can. You know what I'm saying?
They forget that,
it's
like,
just...
because that's the thing, the intersectionality, right? Where it's like, you are, if, I feel like, hold on, I can do this. Where it's like, okay, so for Anne, right? Her intersections where she's a woman and she's, again, closeted lesbian. Mm-hmm. So, like, nobody else knows, right? Mm-hmm. But she's still white. So she has that privilege. Miss Lottie is old, she's disabled, she's black, and she's a lesbian. So she's got 4 out of 4 right there. So it makes it harder. Whereas, again, with Mr. Lohman, he's... Again, and that's the whole thing with Jewish identity. It's so hard to do because, like, yes, you're white, but again, you're still different. So, like, but his benefits is he's still a man. Mm-hmm. And it's like, yes, it is hard for you. And it's like, yes, well, bad. Like, maybe you won't get it as bad if you do help them people find out. I don't know how it was back then. Granted, I think there was somebody that traveled with MLK at the time that he was white and he got killed too. So there's that.
Yeah.
But it's like
there's risk there, you know, and I'm never gonna cut nobody for that or say that they don't have risk. But you know, it's about the bravery part that Glory was talking about. It's like, if you know that this is the truth, if you know my daddy didn't do this, then be brave.
And that's the thing, everybody knew. Everybody in the town knew that her dad didn't rape somebody.
Everybody knew.
And it's like, no, we'll just keep on
Everybody's
doing
scared.
it. And that
which is fair,
and that brings
but
up,
not
I
fair.
think everybody in a way was a victim of that town and of that mentality. And that's the thing that people even today don't realize, that you're all victims of it in one way, shape, or form. Mm-hmm. You just have to wake up to it. Damn it. And sorry. This also has to do with Dagamouth too, so I gotta remember that.
Talk to them.
And you just have to wake up to it. You're all victims. You're all victims of it in just one way, shape, or form. And it's like, once you realize, like,
I want to include that gif. You're a victim. You know, the rap battle. You're a victim.
and it's like, and that's what this is. I'm going all over the place because the line's already getting to me.
Yeah,
you're following me. Okay. This leads me to another thing too, because I think after these last two, we don't have any more questions, so we could just keep talking about it. But throughout the novel, characters interact or mention real and prominent black figures from the Jim Crow era. So you have, again, these are people that I have no idea who existed at the time. And I'm going to read off like all their biographies: Ruby McCullum, Harry T. Moore, and victims like Willie James Howard and the Groveland Boys. Now, before I get into the question, because each one I had to look up. And what's not funny, but in the story, Robbie can see Haints, and then Gloria has premonitions. Like, she knows when something bad is going to happen and when somebody is going to die. Mm-hmm. She just doesn't know who it is.
Yeah.
And I don't know what caused me to look up Ruby McCullum first, because I just thought it was like another character in the story. Mm-hmm. But she sees Ruby McCullum and she knows something bad is going to happen. And when I looked it up, born Ruby Jackson, she was a wealthy married black woman in Live Oak, Florida, who was charged in 1952 for first-degree murder for killing Dr. C. Leroy Adams, a white doctor and state senator. She testified as to their sexual relationship and his paternity of her child. The judge prohibited her from recounting more details of her allegations of abuse by Adams, and she was convicted and sentenced to death for his murder by an all-white jury. She ends up not getting sentenced to death. She ends up getting out. Mm-hmm. So you have her there. Probably, I think this one here, I think she's saying too, where it's like probably one of the first black women in history to talk about a white man taking sexual advantage of her, even though we know it's been happening.
I think she's the first documented. She, out of everybody, I think she is the only one that I had actually heard of.
Yeah,
because I don't know if it was. Honestly, I could be lying, but I really don't feel like I am. I feel like she was mentioned one time on like a Law and Order SVU episode. I think her name was mentioned. I was like, who is that? And I looked it up and I was like, oh. Because I
See,
think
that's crazy.
her
Yes, and then you
incident,
have
the gag order, is what kind of helped with essentially
yes.
what the name of it is.
Really? So that's where, oh, because I guess because it said that the judge prohibited her from like saying anything else about it. And then I think the report, it was written by Zora Neale Hurston for the Pittsburgh Courier, the first newspaper outside of Florida, for a newspaper outside of Florida. So it got like national attention. And then you have Harry T. Moore, who was the founder of the first NAACP branch in Brevard County. His house was bombed on Christmas night. And the reason why him and his wife died is because the only hospital who would take them was 30 minutes away from their house. So there was that. And then you had Willie Howard James, where a crush note that he had written to a white girl was found. And he was lynched. That's going to lead to my other question. And then the Groveland boys, which growing up I had heard of the Scottsboro boys, but I never heard of the Groveland boys. And they were, what was this one? The Groveland Four were 4 black teens: Ernest Thomas, Charles Greenlee, Samuel Shepard, and Walter Irvin. In July 1949, the 4 were accused, as usual, what they're always accused of, raping a white woman and severely beating her husband in Lake County, Florida. The oldest, Thomas, tried to elude capture and was killed that month. The others were put on trial. Shepard and Irvin received death sentences, and Greenlee was sentenced to life in prison. The events of this case led to serious questions about the arrest, allegedly coerced confessions, and mistreatment, which, again, we still see. We saw that see all the time. Central Park 5 is like the biggest example I have of that, too. And the unusual sentencing following their convictions. Their incarceration was exacerbated by their systemic and unlawful treatment, including the death of Shepard and the near-fatal shooting of Irvin. Greenlee was paroled in 1962 and Irvin in 1968. All 4 were posthumously exonerated by the state of Florida in 2021. Which, don't even do that at that point. Like, honestly, what is the point? What is the point of doing that?
Yeah, because that's for you.
Yeah.
That's for
exactly.
You. Some bullshit.
It's like with with the school.
You did it.
Leave it alone. Like, oh my god. Like whatever. And I think Greenlee had come to Groveland in 1949 looking for work, as he was already married and his wife was pregnant. Like,
shit is evil.
Anyway, to the question. How what's that sound? That thumping.
Sorry.
Oh my god. I was like, I was gonna be scared. We're reading a story about
it's not a haint, it's just my squishy apple.
How does the inclusion of real black figures contribute to the story for you, and have you heard of these people before? To answer the second question, no. I haven't heard of any of them. And it's like, that's the other question. Do people in Florida even know who these people are? Because when you think of like civil rights activists, when you think of victims, I feel like the state of Florida never comes up. It's everywhere else. Which again leads me to say, again, their PR is amazing.
So much suppressed information. Because like I said, that the one out of all of them, but as big as, like you said, Central Park 5 was, I hadn't heard of the other boys. Like,
yeah. And honestly, it's not. I'm not even gonna say it's just Florida, because let's just take a look at our dear old home state, North Carolina. Now, as much as I love where I'm from, I love my state. I love where I was born. Love it. Born and raised. However, they suppressed a lot here too. And, it's a lot of stuff that you learn as you get older, and you're uncovering all this stuff, and you're like, well, why did they teach us in school this? Like, Ricky, I don't know if you learned this, but I learned that Thomas Jefferson's teeth was wooden.
I thought that was George Washington.
Or George Washington, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. I learned that his teeth was wooden.
And
they didn't say anything about him taking the teeth of enslaved people.
Or
Oh, we learned all about his affair with I can't think of her name now. His mistress, quote unquote.
I think that's Thomas
They didn't
Jefferson.
tell us that's how young
That's
she
Jefferson.
was.
You're getting
now, y'all know who I'm talking about.
Either way, it wasn't right.
I'm not good with names. Y'all should know this by
right. None of it was right.
Oh no! Like when you found out that Sally Hemings was like a girl, a girl, and not only that, wasn't she like the half sister of his wife, Thomas Jefferson's wife? So
yeah, a baby. But they teach us a bit of it to say, oh, we did teach, but it's lies. There are omissions, and it's all to the point of making it seem like we are further today than we were then, when it's all the same shit happening.
That's when they do black and white photos.
And that's what pisses me off the most. Yeah, black and white photos, even though my papa told me stories, who was alive and well. My papa has told me stories of going to see Martin Luther King when he was a teenager. So what do you mean? When he was in North Carolina, Martin Luther King came to Raleigh. And my papa saw him. So you telling me that my papa, who alive and well, got to see Martin Luther King, and I got color photos of him when he was a kid. So, but Martin Luther King, he black and white and everything. That make sense.
On purpose. They do it on purpose.
Ruby Bridges got her all in black and white, even though she younger than my papa.
Exactly.
Just recently they were saying, I don't know what exactly happened. I don't want to get up here and lie, but they were like messing with her social media platform.
Yes, she made a TikTok account, and I don't know if she wasn't able to do it or they got it shut down.
They got it shut down. Literally the entire page.
Insane.
And wasn't it somebody too? And even as like it's suppressing stuff, but it's also teaching different stuff too. Because wasn't it? I think this is like conversation me and you had to like almost like 2-3 years ago, where it was Eli Whitney, whatever, who did the cotton gin. And she was saying something about Eli Whitney being black, and I was like, "Girl, that's a white man." I'm like, "What are you talking about?"
Rikia, were you taught that Eli Whitney was black?
That's a white man. Again, it made
okay.
And I was like, that's.
They straight up lied to us.
When you told me, I was just like,
to brainwash us.
No, that's an old white man. What are you talking about? Like that's not what I learned.
I'm still shocked.
But think about it. Wouldn't it? Again, you have the Daughters of the Confederacy who like rewrote everything down here. Of course, they try to like make slavery not seem how bad as it was. So of course, an enslaved person created the cotton gin to make his job, quote unquote, easier. Right?
We literally learned about him during Black History Month. Like that is some evil, fucked up shit. And I every time I think about it, it just pisses me off. Because like, what do you mean?
And then taking it a step further, most North Carolina schools, I won't even say North Carolina, a lot of the schools in the South had us going on field trips to plantations.
Yes.
When I found out about that, I was shocked. I was shocked.
And that
they had you what?
And Rikia, I don't know how integrated your school was in elementary, middle school, but as a black child going on these trips, now you got to deal with the little white kids making jokes, making light of it.
Why are we here?
And that's even if you
I hate
learning square dancing in PE. Like I just
square dancing.
None of this is square dancing. It was put into law.
What?
It was a law.
Girl.
Yeah, we had to learn square dancing in elementary school. Right. For racist reasons.
What the hell?
Obviously.
Not just regular old dodgeball. Like, just
I feel like it was like a 2-week thing, honestly. Looking back, I feel like it was like a 2-week thing during like that PE. Because you didn't start doing health until you got to middle school, so it was just PE in elementary school. I feel like it was like a 2-week thing.
What is square dancing? Is that the one like grab your partner like round and round? Is that what that is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. Oh my god, I hate that you guys had to go through that because that is traumatic. Like, why even do they still do that? Do they still do those field trips?
I don't think it's a thing anymore. And
I hope
honestly, schools don't have field trips like that because I always sign up to be like a field trip person for my nephew. They don't be taking them kids nowhere but to the science museum, and that is it.
Yeah. That's actually crazy. Now that you say that, that is true. I'm sitting here thinking where my brother and my niece have gone recently.
Nope.
They don't go nowhere.
They're in school all day, every day.
Oh my God. What are they doing to these poor children?
Schools ain't got no money.
That's a conversation for a different day.
I know. Like, I mean, I was gonna say more, but it just goes on and on. It becomes a rabbit hole at a certain point. It's just like exhausting.
This leads to one of my last questions. Which Tia, I personally, Tia, I want you to answer this question first. I want you to answer this question first. Okay.
I don't even know.
I'm going to read it right now. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. On page 226, when Gloria and Miss Lottie go to the diner to meet with the lawyer to free Robbie, we're discussing Willie James Howard. Clement, one of the old men that's just there, because they're all just talking, he says, "I'll say what y'all won't. The child had no business." Oh, actually, I'm gonna read the love note too, because again, this is the lynching of Willie James Howard, who wrote a love note to a white girl. He was drowned, a victim of drowning. And he wrote it on New Year's Day. And he says, "Dear friend, just a few lines to let you hear from me. I am well and hope you are the same. This is what I said on that Christmas card. From WJH with love. I hope you will understand what I mean. That is what I said. Now please don't get angry with me, because you can never tell what may get in somebody. I did not put it in there myself. God did. I can't help that he does, can I? I know you don't think much of our kind of people, but we don't hate you all. We want to be your friend, but you won't let us. Please don't let anybody else see this. I hope I haven't made you mad. If I did, tell me about it, and I will forget about it. I wish this was a northern state. I guess you call me fresh. Write and tell me what you think of me. Good or bad? Sincerely yours." I love your name. I love your voice. You are my choice. He wrote that to a girl named Cynthia Goff. She told, and he was drowned. Whoo. She later said that she was very distraught over the death and did not intend for anything to happen to him. But obviously something did. But in this book, Clement says, "I'll say what y'all won't. The child had no business sending a love note to a white girl. Some of y'all ain't raising these children to know what these crackers will like they need to." And I say this in all seriousness, like, was he right in his statement? And I personally think he was. Especially given the time, he was. And the people get mad at him in the book, but like he said, like, you know, I'm going to tell you something that you don't want to hear. And I think he was rightfully justified in his statement. I think it's a lot of what ifs of if he was taught this, of being careful if what would happen. But I have nothing else to say outside of, like, yes, he was.
Yeah, I agree. I did not read that note before now. It's my tears. I didn't read that before now, but what it just shows me is this was just a little boy. He was just a baby with a little crush. And yes, he was right for saying what he said, because the truth of the matter is, even to this day, I am scared for black men who are with white women, especially in certain areas. I just am. I just am, because there's there's danger in it. It just is. And we, as the loving people that we are, of course we're open. Because we don't hate nobody, you know? But at the end of the day, what we have to understand as a people is that everybody is not like us. Everybody is not like us. Everybody is not loving. Everybody is not understanding. Everybody is not open minded. Some people are just going to want to kill you because you are black. Some people are going to want to kill you even more if they see that you are with a white person. And I think, at the very least, I'm never going to tell nobody not to love nobody based on their skin color. I wouldn't do that. But what I will say is, know what you're getting into. At least know, as a child, I'll just say, for me personally, my young child would not be allowed to. Now, once they're an adult and they can make their own decisions, and they can think about it logically, and they can say, okay, I understand the risks involved here. I understand the danger involved here, the reality of what this might mean for how we're treated, for what could happen to me or what could happen to her, how they're treated. I just, it's sad that we have to live like that, but the fact of the matter is, yeah, he was right. Somebody should, especially back then, when it was as open as racism is right now, it was way more open then. So his mom and his daddy, somebody should have told him, don't say nothing, don't look at him, don't do nothing. I mean, my papa literally was just telling me and my brother the other day. We were visiting with him, and he was telling us, well, when I was about 11 years old, this white girl came in the barn where he was at the tobacco field with my great grandmother. She took him with her while she worked. They were sharecroppers. He said, while she was working, he would hang out in the barn and play. He said one day a little white girl came in there and waved at him. He had already been told plenty of times before, you don't play with white kids. You don't do that. Especially not no little white girl. You don't do that. But he's 11. So, he's like, oh, he ain't thinking nothing about it. He's not thinking anything sexual. He's not thinking anything untoward. He's a kid. So she rolled the ball to him. He rolled the ball back. But guess what? That little girl's mama come in there. Why are you in here hanging out with that nigga? And that's when my papa realized, oh, he messed up. Because now his mama came in there, my great grandmother, and now he got in trouble as well. But the fact of the matter is, just something like that, if the wrong person had walked in there, could have been fatal for my grandfather. And that's just the reality. Whether we think it's right or wrong, it's what it is. And you have to be honest with your kids. You want to raise your kids in love, yes, but you also have to raise them in reality. And that is just all I got to say about that. I don't know. It's a lot. Again, this book was hard.
No, I agree. And I love your last statement, that you have to raise them in love and you have to raise them in reality. I feel like back then, for them, how they're supposed to interact with white people should have been the same way you teach your kid, don't touch a hot stove, because if you touch a hot stove, you're going to get burnt. That is the same type of communication that should have happened. And I know times have changed, but a lot of those same sayings, and I don't say this to be offensive to anybody, but I've always heard that when sometimes white women lie, black men die. That has not changed. That happens all the time. And it's like certain, and it, like you said, for like your grandpa, but like I think about like some of my little cousins. In the back of my mind, they're like, oh, I'm talking to somebody and I'm dating somebody. In the back of my head, I want to ask, well, what color is she? What race is she? not that I truly care, but I know that there could be consequences later down the line for who you choose to deal with. And at our age group, we know and see these things. When you start getting down to what is it, Gen Z, and then past that, they don't know as much as we do.
Yeah.
Like, anything can happen to you. And granted, her mom and daddy might be cool with it, but grandma pa might not, or uncle at the cookout might not. And then you're put in a situation that you have no control over. It's scary.
Yeah.
Like, I'll never forget no one in my family listens to this, so it is what it is. Someone that I'm not related to, it's a relative of a spouse of my cousin. Sister's white, blonde, blue eyes, whatever. Her husband is a black man, and this was like a couple of years ago where I was kind of not really paying attention, but like they were talking about, my family was like talking about her, whatever, and my cousin was like, yeah, her dad was pissed the night that like she had brought him over to meet her family. And then, because again, like, we're not related to these people, so they were talking about like that, and we were talking about how like ridiculous that was. But in my head, I don't know why I didn't say anything out loud, but it's like, why would you do that? Why would you bring him over if you know that's how your father feels? Now he loves him, so I guess it's fine. That was sarcastic. But it's just like, that's what we were saying too, like when you are making these decisions, you have to think of everything that is going to happen. The conversations that you have to have with your family, the conversations you have to have with your children when you have children. For me, as somebody who is with a white man, like when I realize, okay, I actually like this person and I want these things to go further, you need to be vetted. You need to be thoroughly vetted before we go anywhere with this. And most people aren't going to do that because we're in love and blah, blah, blah. It's like, no. Yeah. I saw a video the other day where this mom brought her son, black mom, white dad, brought her son back from like the barber or whatever. The dad didn't like it. He called his hair nappy. Like, you're telling me that's not the first time that man has said that to your child. And you're telling me this whole entire time you've been married, like, there's been no signs with that? Because if that ever happened, okay, I'm sorry, well, we're done. We're done. And it's like, and I feel like people don't, and it's like, you need to, if you are going to date outside of your race, there's work that you have to do. I saw a thing on TikTok too.
Don't be naive about it.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I feel like people when they have to do that, they have to admit that there's something wrong with the system as a whole. Or there was something I saw where it was like somebody was in college, they were an RA, and he was like, yeah, you'd be surprised the number of women and girls who date black men just to piss off their mom or their dad. And it's like, it's, I don't know. The fact that it's more common than not, but then nobody talks about it, which is again, like, you just want to sweep it under the rug, but then something bad happens.
And now everybody's in uproar.
Yeah. And you can, honestly,
and I think that's the thing. You just gotta be smart about it. There can't be any, not talking. And this is one of those things where it's like, I get so upset with the school system because this is what this is meant to do. It's meant to pacify us as a people, to make it seem like, oh, yeah, slavery was bad, wasn't it? Yeah, I'm so glad we don't do that anymore. We're a united front now. We're all, we don't even do nothing like that. Racism doesn't exist anymore. Or if it does, it's only Donald Trump and his followers. But let's just be real about it. You can be somebody's best friend and realize 10 years in, oh, this person is still racist.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not just about whether you like somebody or not. It's not about that. You can love somebody all day, every day, and still have some kind of prejudice inside if you have not done the work to dismantle it. And if you're trying to start a family with somebody and create more Black children, then I'm going to need you to take the time to do that work and risk the fact that this person that you love may not be ready to be in a relationship with a Black person. And that's all I ask of Black people. That's all I ask of you. Be real about it. Be honest with yourself.
It's. I just lost my train of thought. It had everything to do with what you were about to say, and I lost it.
Yeah, no, wholeheartedly agree. Wholeheartedly.
I just agree with that. I just agree with the whole thing. Because even like growing up too, because like I've told you guys before, like from up until middle school, I went to a predominantly Black and brown school. They shut down the school in my neighborhood, which is a predominantly Black and brown neighborhood. There wasn't another one, so I had to go to a white school, predominantly white. And it was maybe me and 2 or 3 Black boys and 4 or 5 Black girls in my whole grade. So that was a culture shock to me too. I was just like, okay, what is this, honey? And then when I went to that school, my dad, and this, honestly, this is why I never understood like how they talk about like when a Black man is in an interracial relationship, how they don't talk about race and things. No, my dad was like, you need to be careful. You need to be careful. These people are your friends, but do not be surprised if they say something that is racist. And again, I'm like 10, and I was like, what do you mean? Like, what are you talking about? They're my friends. Why would they be my friend if they're racist? That's not gonna happen. Turn around to being just microaggressive as fuck. And then realizing as I'm older, it's like, oh wait, that was not okay. But you were still my friend. You still had me over your house. I'll never forget the one day I stopped being friends with somebody, and I remember it to this day. I was never down with Republicans, okay? And I know this governor means nothing to you because you're not from New York. Her parents had a picture with Governor George Pataki of New York.
Pataki too.
And I said, you guys are Republican? She said, yeah, and I was like, okay. I never hung out. And I'm like 10 or 11 years old. I'm just like, I don't know about this. Actually, no. But again, it's like, this is like in the 90s, like 2000. My dad is still having this conversation. And the conversations aren't gonna, you're still having it. Still being told to be careful. When it ended up with, when my husband and I were getting serious in the beginning of our relationship, had that conversation again. He had a conversation with him. And then at no point was I just like, no, don't do that. Like, okay, yeah. Like, I'm telling you he's fine, trusting me that I would make the right decision. But I think if people just get over that hump of like, there's nothing wrong with having that conversation, let your ego go, don't be defensive. It is what it is. But again, we don't say all that to say, Clement was right. And I like Clement. I could just picture him, that old man at a bar stool, just saying that. And it's just like, yeah.
I mean, you see that, and nobody disagree with him.
Yeah.
You might have felt he was being a little rude.
Yeah, because didn't they get quiet at the end of it?
Yeah.
Well, no, I think, hold on, what did somebody said something. He still was just like, you know what? He
said something like, a
typical Southern man.
But yeah, he should.
Sipping his coffee with his newspaper probably, and then cross his leg as he said it. Y'all know he shouldn't have said that mess.
Yeah, somebody said only one man said, you wrong for that, Clement. The man in the overall said, the eyes in the room looked away. Both just fell apart. So I was just like,
listen, we need Clements around. We need Clements around. Let's just be real about it. Because, the world is what it is, and it's very unfortunate.
Yes, but to make light of a very heavy episode. This is probably the first time we cried in an episode.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
think so.
you're listening to this, you read the book. There's a happy ending. Okay,
Yeah.
they escape. Hattie gets mauled by his dog. All the Haints
Yes.
they escape or whatever, and they get free. They go to the other side. They when they got reunited with their dad,
Yes.
we're Robert
Yes.
Rita. I
So good.
cried so hard. And what
Yeah.
didn't his mom's spirit
So
come back
good.
too?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
Yep.
Yes, and he finally got to see
Yeah.
I
Her white dress. I
Oh
was
my
like,
god.
oh.
I'm gonna cry again. I'm gonna cry again.
Yeah.
I lost it. I lost it.
Yeah.
This needs to be. Would I watch this if this was like an adaptation? I don't know. I don't know. Go watch it.
You know, I was kind of scared. I ain't gonna hold you when we found out Blue was a Hank, and then she was describing when he was messing
Mm-hmm.
with him in the bunk bed.
Oh, when he
You
changed
remember you
his
said
face.
Yeah.
neck switched. I was like, oh Lord.
Can you imagine?
Whew. I was scared.
Oh my god.
It should be. Honestly, a lot of her books. This is what I always say about her books. Her books be scary as hell,
I want to read
but
it.
they
I'm so excited.
always be like, yeah. You have to read her other stuff because, like I said, The Good House scared me half to death. But you still learn some things about some jazz musicians,
Oh, I love that.
and that era of Black history. It was very good.
I was.
Her vampire.
That's. I think I'm gonna
series,
start that next.
Very, very good.
Because you know I love me a vampire.
I'm about to say, I like vampire. So which one is that one? Okay, you'll
That one's My Soul to Keep. My Soul to Keep is the vampire one. And if you haven't read Immortal Dark, that one.
I have that. That's the
go
same
read
lady.
it. No, this is somebody else.
Oh,
I'm
I
just
was
saying it's a
like,
black vampire.
whoa. Okay, I haven't
It's a
read
black
it yet.
vampire. No, Sesenyos, little Ethiopian prince vampire. Like, oh my god, like, oh, I love him. Yes. I'm telling you to read it because I know you don't like, you're scared of vampires, but that is where I would say doing this podcast made me realize that like horror books are like my home.
Oh.
And granted, did I go on like a Stephen King binge? Did I buy? Have I read it yet? No. I'm not ready. I gotta graduate to him because he was on cocaine.
Yeah,
I'm
gonna tell you. when you read his books, it's certain books that's it's gonna scare you to death. And you know I'm a horror girly. Always have been reading horror since I was little. Sneaking Stephen King in the house, and my mama said, "Don't be bringing that messing up." I was sneaking it in and reading it anyway. But anyways, yeah, his books are disturbing. So honestly, I
could imagine
build up
because one of my favorite shows is Welcome to Derry, and I think you're the one that said this is that show is the closest to getting how gross his books are. And me watching that show, because Ricky, I don't know if you ever watched it, but every episode you were just left just kind of in silence. I would say the first like 10 minutes of episode 1, Jeremy and I just sat there.
No, I
forced her to finish it. I did, and
I quit 15 minutes into the first episode because I'm like, oh hell no, this too close to the books. I gotta get out. I gotta go. It was too.
I saw a trailer,
but the story.
Like,
no. It's so good. It's so good. No.
But it's so good.
So good.
I trust y'all.
She's like, you know what?
I trust y'all.
She's not the last thing we ever recommended her that she watched was Saltburn, and she said, you know what? I'm not listening to anything you guys say.
I'm sorry for that, friend. Honestly, we should have gave you a better warning.
No, because
that book was crazy.
But she said don't ever recommend any movies or TV shows to me ever again after that one. So it's like, sorry.
I felt bad for that one. I did.
Y'all have to give me a good one. Something balanced.
We are giving you a good one. You know what? I'm going to give you a good one that is on Peacock right now that I have. This is not a Peacock plug, but I have to finish. Yumi and Tuscany. I'm only 10 minutes in and it's kind of cute.
That's really fun. I have that on my list. Yeah.
Oh, I love
okay.
So, yes. You can watch
y'all. I thought y'all watched this when it was in theaters, friends. Y'all, I should have dragged y'all with me because when I tell you, it was so cute.
She's so pretty. But
yeah, you have to watch it. It's so cute.
So that is it. That is it for our episode. Our next episode, we're going to be talking about the tantalizing. No, was it tantalizing or titillating? Is titillating a word? Titillating, controversial book, Daggermouth by H.M. Wolfe. So we got a lot to say about that one. So stick around for that. And we'll see you guys soon. Bye.
Bye.
Peace.